What Jokic does is unbelievable. We think our guy Şengün is being slept on a little bit. Keep sleeping on Şengün. He is. People don't get to see the Rockets play, but he does some things that are really, really terrific. But
sleeping on him in what regard? Like on the national level?
Yeah, on the national
he doesn't
level.
get well.
Because
It's
he's
the Rockets.
the Rockets.
It's the Rock.
Yeah, it's the Rockets.
Can we just figure out what the hell's going on in the locker room?
Can you?
No. But I'll tell you, people I talk to, man, it's not good. And I feel bad for Silas. I think learning how to hold young players accountable is very tough in today's age when people just want to quit and want to get out. Holding people.
Isn't that the coach's job, though?
Yes, but there's a reason why Coach K never left to become a pro coach. There's a reason why Tom Izzo was like, it's hard to hold players accountable if the
Saban
organization
came back to college.
Can't do that for them.
Right. Well, we had Kelvin Sampson on, and he was coaching in the pros, and he says, "Hey, I want you to come back and get some rebounds, I want you to come out on the perimeter to stop a three-point. This guy's killing you on the three-point shot. I want you to get out the perimeter." He goes, "Coach, I got a rebounding clause in my contract. I can't be out there." And he was like, "Are you what? Are you kidding me?" That's the NBA game.
But he also said this, and this is true, and I've run this by some GMs to see their thoughts on this. He said, Kelvin Sampson told us on the show I said, how do you change culture? We're watching the Rockets try to, they got to change culture. He said, the most important thing about changing culture, the most important is you cannot be afraid of conflict. Confrontation. You must not be afraid of confrontation. And that's not Stephen Silas. And so with a team that doesn't need confrontation, that's got veterans, Silas would probably be great with them. Rudy too knew how to finesse relationships with players. But this team is going to, unfortunately, need somebody who's not afraid of confrontation because there's probably going to be confrontation now that the team has been allowed to do whatever they want for a certain amount of time. Somebody's going to come in and find that the players are going to buck back against them. And at some point, there's going to be some guys that get moved out of here.
Well, that's what it comes down to. At the end of the day, when you're building a culture, you need to have the backing by ownership, right, and hire brass to say, look, I know you guys drafted this dude with a high draft pick, but this cat ain't willing to be bought into what we're trying to build. He got to go. Because I think players respond like, oh, they just let him go? Damn, he was dirt big. They didn't let me go easily. So it puts everybody in line. It puts everybody on notice. Or if you have your star player that is echoing what the head coach is saying,
then that matters.
And then you create that. But if you don't have that, man, you're not going to be able to establish. And it's got to
be one of the better. Although, I guess the Rockets had a little bit with Trevor Ariza.
Yep.
PJ Tucker had some. And then, ultimately he and James and Chris had a falling out. And that'll happen, too, when you have big personalities.
Here's the thing, though, too, Jay. Listen, they got rid of Christian Wood this last offseason because, well, the stories that we heard about that. But if I'm Jalen Green or I'm Alpy or I'm any of the guys that are going to make another team, I'll then get rid of me. You know what? That's all we've done is lose here anyway. Well, I'm going to have that attitude.
So then if that's your attitude, then get out.
Yeah, then you don't need to be
here. I don't want players that don't want to be here. Like for me, I guess it's almost like Chicago. I've thought about it. It's like one of the things I did in Chicago, which it rubbed people the wrong way, but it was against what I was trying to do. So literally, Michael Jordan's locker is empty. Okay, and I'm not Michael Jordan. I'm not ever proclaiming to be. But I'm like, yo, man, like, I'm trying to sit there. I want to win. So when we lose back-to-back games and guys are going out, I'm like, yo, why are you guys going out? We just lost by 20 to Dallas. Like, what happened? So, like, that was my energy. I wanted to be there. I didn't mind confrontation. I didn't mind people pushing. Why would you take I want that to rub off on me.
Right.
Like, I want to be that. Why am I being criticized for wanting to be that? And so, but, like, it takes somebody to want to be here to keep people accountable. So you got to find that.
Chris Paul, I had a lunch with Chris Paul, and he was there to talk to Jarrett Stidham about whether or not he should go pro. It was Tad Brown, who was the president of the team. His son-in-law was at Auburn, was a quarterback. And so there was a group of people, and I got invited to this. And one of the things Chris Paul said at this luncheon was he said one of the things, it was Van Gundy was there, Daryl Morey, like it was an interesting Ted Johnson who won Super Bowl champion with the Patriots. And what he told us was, it was one of the most impactful things that I've ever listened to. He said, one of the things that was most disappointing to me was it was my second or third year in the league when I realized that there weren't a lot of guys who wanted to win as bad as I did. He goes, I assumed everyone in the league was like that. And when I realized what a small percentage it was, he said, And it disappointed me. And then I realized this is going to be easier for me to be a really good NBA player. He said, because I'm going to have the advantage on a lot of stuff.
You'd be amazed at how many people you lose by 20 points. They come, the first thing they're looking at is the box score, looking at what they got.
Yep.
You have people looking at a game. Because it's like on younger teams, you're incentivized by what your numbers are, not by what our numbers are to win. So you have to have people that are cut from a different cloth. And I think that's sometimes what management misses out on. They do such a great job trying to focus on who has the individual physical talent. But that's where all the extra testing comes in about who are you as an individual?
Well,
How
that's
are
what
you
chemistry does matter.